All right, at the end of two periods here at J. Tom Lawler Rink, it's UNH 3, Merrimack 1. Well, joining us here, second intermission, Carly Muscaro. She's from the Merrimack track team and just a freshman at Merrimack, but really had a big day here today, Carly, posting your best time ever in the 400, which I know is your race, and it's going to enable you. You came in third in New England. It's going to enable you to go down to North Carolina in a couple of weeks, NCAAs, and compete for the national title there, I guess. Well, however they call it, you're in the nationals, as it were, but a pretty big day for you. Tell us how it went today.
Yeah, today it was actually really tough because on Friday you had to go and run a trial 400. So we're there and we're with everybody, and there's a lot of girls. You go and you run your trial, and if you make it to the finals, you have to go the next day. So in my mind, I was just, I was physically exhausted. I was mentally exhausted, but I just had to keep pushing. I'm like, all right, just one more 400. Got there today, knew I had a lot of competition. There was a really good girl from Quinnipiac. Knew I was going to go up against her, up against another girl from Northeastern. Really great girls. I just knew I just had to go in, be a strong runner, be mentally tough, and just get myself out there and just push all 400 meters.
Now, the 400 again being your race, first of all, how long have you been running the 400?
I've actually been running it since like the end of my freshman year, so it's going to be like 5 years this year.
Freshman year in high school?
High school, yeah.
Yeah, and you're from Ashland, Massachusetts?
I am, yeah. It's a small town, so not a lot of people have heard of it.
How did you end up at Merrimack?
Honestly, I only looked at a few schools, and I took a tour to Merrimack, and I absolutely loved the school, and I was just like, this is where I want to go, and I talked to the coaches, and we worked stuff out, and I just ended up here. And I'm very happy here.
Now, it's a new school record you ran. Let's see, what is it, a 55.05 today? And you seem pretty proud of that, as you should be.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I never thought in my life I'd be hitting 55 seconds. Last year I couldn't break 60 seconds outdoor. I was having a lot of trouble, but I knew if I put my mind to it, I could come back and I could have a great season. So I'm very excited to be running 55.
So in a couple of weeks now, it'll be the Nationals right down in North Carolina. And so do you know which day is that? Is that 2 weeks from today, or is it just that weekend?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like the 15th and the 16th. So 2 weeks from now, it's in North Carolina. You fly down. You go and you run. There's a lot of great people there. It's the best of the division, and I'm really excited to be going.
For your first year, you're only a freshman, so you still got 3 more years ahead of you. That's a pretty good way to start, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great way to start, but it can be a little tough because you got to keep it up for the next, 3 years. And with track, it is a very tough sport on your mind and your body. I'm just hoping I can keep it up and still represent the school every single year. Yeah,
I was going to say, you set the bar pretty high here, haven't you?
I did, yeah. It's kind of scary, but it's great at the same time.
Tell us about the rest of the team and your coaches. Tell us about. Sounds like a pretty big team, and I'm sure you guys all support each other.
Oh, yeah. We have a great team. We have a great distance program. We actually sent 7 girls to nationals this past season. The sprinters, we have a lot of new sprinters. In total, there's about 80-something boys and girls, so the biggest the program has ever been. Everybody's great. Everybody's really friendly, really funny. We get along really well. We're always cheering on each other. The coaches, they're great. They try and get to talk to everybody, help us out with our race, really get us mentally focused. And I just think everybody just meshes really well. It's a great team, and I'm excited that this year is just a great program. I'm really excited.
What's your major?
I'm a criminology major.
Interesting. Now, why'd you choose that?
I'm hoping one day I can be, in law enforcement, like police officer or state trooper, actually.
Wow. Now, and how did that happen? Is that something you've always been interested in? Or?
Yeah, just growing up, being young, I just always knew I wanted to do it, and I've just had thoughts about doing it, so I'm just going to stick with it.
Yeah, very interesting. And, of course, I guess if you can run pretty fast, you get a good chance of catching people, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's what a lot of people tell me. They tell me they're afraid that they won't run from me, and they shouldn't.
So you run the 400, and as we said, folks are just joining us, so you set the school record, personal record too, right, in the 400, and you're going to go after the title now at the Nationals in a couple weeks.
Yep.
The Division II championships down in North Carolina. Have there been other events that you competed in, maybe other races, other distances, and how did the 400 end up being your event?
Well, actually, when I was a freshman in high school, I used to do the mile and the 2 mile, but one day one of my older coaches, he was like, why don't you try a 400? So I went and I ran the 400, and I ended up being, pretty good at it, so I just stuck with it. And I would do other races like the 100, the 200, and indoors like the 60-meter dash. So I've done a little bit of everything, and the 400 is just my best event, so I just stick with that mainly.
Now it's a little different, right? I only know what I know about track and field from what I see in the Olympics, right? But
yeah.
So bear with me for that. But the 100 or the 200, that's sprints, right? Those are faster races.
Yeah.
Whereas you start to get up in the 400 and beyond. I mean, those are more distance. I mean, you kind of. I mean, are you put it this way? You're not running all out for the 400 meters, are you?
Actually, you are.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but honestly, it's an all-out sprint for 400 meters. You got to go. Every single second counts. It's probably one of the worst events in track, just, pain-wise. It's you're literally putting your body through 60 or below seconds of pain.
Wow.
Which, some people can't handle that, but I'm just very glad that I can go out and I can do it and race very well every single time.
Do you have a certain strategy you're, approaching each race, and is it the same each race, or does it change from race to race?
It can change race to race. Sometimes I go into a race knowing like I'm ranked really well and I'll be fine. But indoors, it's just, you got to be first to the brake line. There's a brake line and, everybody comes in. Just power through and just have a great finish, and also just to have fun and just kind of take it easy mentally. Just go out and run your heart out.
So then when it comes down to a race like today, yesterday you had the qualifying, and then today's, you're going all out like that. How does that change your mindset and going into, and how do you prepare for it?
I prepare for it. I just try and calm myself down, honestly. It's a lot of just thinking, a lot of sitting around, a lot of, listening to some pump-up music. It's really tough, when I knew I made it to the finals, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do this tomorrow. And, your body is just so exhausted and your legs are just gone. But you just have to be mentally tough, and I just, sit around and just think about my strategy, think about going out there and leaving it all on the track, because that's the kind of racer I am. So just got to think about it by yourself and just go out and do it.
Well, leaving it all on the track, you clearly did that today. Can you beat 55.05 in a couple of weeks?
I'm hoping to hit 54, yes,
Yeah?
and I think I will with the competition there. That's my goal.
Well, good luck. We wish you the best. Thanks for coming on to join us. I know you just got back a little while ago. You ate and you came here to join us. Thanks for coming on, and good luck in a couple weeks.
Thank you so much.
Carly Muscaro has been our guest here from the Merrimack track team. She posted a personal best today of 55.05, and she's going to go to Nationals in a couple of weeks, so we wish her the best. She's been our guest here in the second intermission with our score. UNH 3, Merrimack 1, and John and I will be back with more right after this. This is Warrior Hockey.